Now, training. Training is a very important component when it comes to your health and safety program. For a lot of stuff you have, for instance, if you're dealing with any chemicals in your workplace, then you have to have HAZWOPA training. For people that has 24-hour or 40-hour HAZWOPA training, it's required that they have to have an 8-hour refresher training. That's for everyone that takes HAZWOPA training. You have other stuff that requires annual training as well. And then you also have as needed training and just in time training. When it comes to health and safety, a lot of times in workplaces, training is conducted as a requirement. And when they send out notification to staff members, they would say, okay, we have to conduct training on September 20th. Just give you an example of a date. We have to conduct training on September 20th. Understand, I know you guys don't want to do this training. This is how it's being positioned to your staff member. When it's being positioned in such a way, now people like, oh, I have stuff to do. I don't want to take off for training. Why do we have to be here? Is it necessary? Because administration they're not pushing the culture of health and safety has to be very important, just as important as your numbers, just as important as productivity, just as important as the budgetary requirements that you have. Because if you don't follow your health and safety schedule, if you don't make sure that your training requirements are being met, if you don't make sure that your safety culture is as such that staff members as well as first line supervisors as well as mid-level managers and everyone up to senior management, if it's a culture of everyone is happy about health and safety, if people understand that it's necessary that you follow your health and safety requirements and it's a culture where everyone plays a part in it, it's just not a policy, and you're training on what you know. So training becomes a part of your muscle memory for those that work out or those that make exercise. You work out, you exercise, and when you actually play, if you play any kind of sports, now what you trained on, whatever the things that you train on, it becomes muscle memory, and you follow that throughout your daily schedule. So your health and safety culture is one where training becomes very important, and training is something that can be done as needed. If you see someone that's getting on a ladder and they don't have another staff member that's holding that ladder, then you can stop those two individuals, stop the individual and say, hey, anything over 6 feet, you have to be tied off. Anything over 4 feet, then you have to make sure, depending on the environment, we have to make sure that you have someone holding this ladder before you go up there to change that light bulb or to check that fixture. Let me help you out. Let me get someone that can help hold this ladder. That's just in time training. That's done as needed. So training doesn't have to be all the time where it's an annual thing. You have to do this on a repetitive motion on a daily basis as necessary to make sure that you keep a safe culture within your environment. Because right now, as of 2018, OSHA fines have went up. At one point, the fine was $7,000 per occurrence for a serious violation. Now, currently, the OSHA fine schedule is $13,260 per serious violation. If there is a repeated or willful violation, that means if an OSHA representative comes back to your facility and there's continued violations, is being repeated, or you willfully disregard what you're required to fix, that fine can go up to $132,598. Your training requirements in your in-time training and making sure you have your correct documentation can help abate those penalties. So training becomes very important for those that's working in the healthcare sector, because what it does, it helps keep your employees safe. That's the most important thing, that you want to make sure at every single day, everyone that's a staff member of yours, they go home like they came to work. Let me repeat that again. You want to make sure as supervisors, as mid-level supervisors, as senior management, even as a regular employee on the job site, we have a saying in health and safety that I am my brother's keeper. That means that, but just like you want as an employee, you want to go home to your family like you came to work, or even better, you want to make sure that the next worker, the person that's working next to you, the person that you're passing in the hallway, the person that you see coming down the steps, you want to make sure that that person goes home just like they came to work. And your training requirements will ensure that, because that's creating a safe culture, a good health and safety culture within your job system.
For more information, click on the link below or visit databrackets.com.